To continue on my previous speech on significance of Sri Ramakrishna's Avatarhood, this is the third speech. And today we will start with some important, mind-boggling and enlightening concepts and ideas integrated and described by most revered Swami Bhajananand Maharaj, who is one of our trustees, once an editor of Prabuddha Bharata. He has written a good number of articles and essays shedding new light on Ramakrishna Vedanta literature. He is also well known for his spiritual enlightenment, simple, austere life, and loving heart. At present, he is one of our vice presidents of our order. I have summarized the concepts borrowed from Revered Bhajananji Maharaj, lest my speech should cross the borderline of feelings from interesting to boring. I would request all of you to go through the book titled as The Light of the Modern World, written by revered Swami Bhajananandji Maharaj. I am sure it will bring you a new level of Sri Ramakrishna consciousness. We know about cyclical movement of civilization believed in Hinduism and ancient Greek and Roman civilization. We'll now discuss about the concepts and thoughts of some Western thinkers regarding epochal changes and spiritual leaders. Number one, Hegel, Karl Marx, German philosopher, and several other philosophers and thinkers held the view that human culture and civilization passes through a linear progressive way, starting from a primitive type of civilization to a more advanced and developed one, during which, in a certain period of time, prevail some ideas, concepts, beliefs, values in the mind of people that dominate the minds of the people of that era. The social, intellectual, moral climate of that period or era is influenced mostly by those values and termed and popularized as zeitgeist by Hegel. This succession of stages of development, according to them, is linear, means and we always towards more advanced one. The second point, the ancient Greek, Roman, Chinese, and Indian believed in a cyclical development theory. In Indian culture, the epochs are called Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. These are long cycles recurring in same sequential order. Ancient Roman and Greek called them golden, silver, copper, and iron age. It was believed that from simplicity, innocence, and wisdom, men gradually degrade, led by wealth and luxury to vices and degeneracies. Third point is that the recent 19th century thinkers like Nietzsche and Oswald Spengler believed in culture as a living organism and have four stages like human life: childhood, youth, old age, and death. Many had opined that civilization has also stages like growth, prosperity, and decline. From the study of the history, they showed that the Western civilization is going through the stage of degradation. But after this decline, there is a possibility of resurgence, culture, and new civilization. Epochal ideas questions, and paradigm shifts. The significance of the advent of Sri Ramakrishna will be clear if we delve into the past civilizations around the world and observe the epochs, ideas, and paradigm shifts of epochs. Brushing aside all the theories, if someone goes through the evolution of history of human civilization, a clear paradigm shifts of epochs can be seen. In each epoch, there is some fundamental questions, ideas, belief pattern, or values characterize that epoch. One epoch gives way to another when this fundamental question or questions, belief patterns, and values change. What is the ultimate substance on which the universe is built up? Was the question by the Greek thinkers in 6th century BCE. Raising this question, the Greek thinkers like Hales, Alexander, and others started one epoch. Socrates came 300 years later and asked the epochal question, what is virtue? Answer came from him, virtue is knowledge. 300 years later, in Palestine, Jesus, a carpenter's son, answer of this same question was, and it was different. He announced, the virtue is love, the love of man and the love of God. With this answer, started a new millennium in Europe. In India, Vedic sages and saints wondered with the basic questions like, by knowing what everything is to be known, inspired by whom, sense organs, vital forces, mind, work, what is the ultimate reality, what is the real nature of man, what is life, what is the root from which life springs again and again, what is the real source of happiness. With these fundamental questions began a new epoch in the history of Indian culture. Around the 6th century BCE, Buddha started a new epoch with a fundamental question, what is the root cause of human sufferings? Vedic and Buddhist paradigms continued as parallel streams for more than 1000 years. Then came Acharya Sankaracharya with the flag of Advaita Vedanta as the supreme philosophy, shifting a new paradigm. With the onslaught of Islam, another paradigm shift took place in 11th century. Sri Ramakrishna context an epochal advent to solve the problem of human in new age. Now, in present era, starting from 18th century, when enemies have started entering into our mind, people started doubting on God or any conscious power regulating this universe, when Eastern and Western culture are freely mingling and shocked to embrace each other, when different religions tried to establish their sole authority at the cost of millions and millions of lives of people, when different sects and schools in between Hinduism were at their wits' end to reconcile and come to a harmonious solution and fought each other, when material science and religion found no common ground to believe each other, when Western civilization, equipped with material science, theories of utility, and sitting in the pinnacle of modern civilization, found no inner peace, called in question the traditional religious beliefs, and Sri Ramakrishna born in this world with his powerful sword of eternal knowledge and wisdom, love and compassion to kill all the doubts, and preached the message of peace, harmony, and reconciliation. In 1881, Swami Vivekananda, then Narendranath, a brilliant, energetic, well built, well versed in Eastern and Western philosophies, young college student, was puzzled, getting no solution of his basic questions, and came Dakshineshwar to have a solution. As if as a representative of modern man, inflicted with doubt and problems, he asked Sri Ramakrishna, the priest of the Kali temple of the Mother of the Universe, was preparing the ground for a spiritual renaissance. Sure, have you seen God? The immediate and instant answer was, yes, I see him as clearly as I see you. In fact, more clearly. In later occasion, Sri Ramakrishna told him that he saw God in him and in all human beings. With this question and answer, a new epoch started with solving all the problems of modern age. This simple question and answer solved many riddles, doubts, and problems of modern generation. It has recovered faith in God. It separated spirituality from traditional religions, searching truth in the depths of one's own soul, separating cultic, ritualistic, institutional metrics of religion from true spirituality of or religion. Harmony among world religions, harmony among different faiths prevailed in Hinduism. And number six, human beings started to search the unity in diversity, not only in religions, but also in different streams of science and technology, in economics and sociology, in management and business. In his book, Sri Ramakrishna and Religious Symbolism, Vedanta for East and West, Dr. Waltherus Mies says, more than 50 years before science began to confirm such views about the unity of matter and spirit, tentatively, Ramakrishna realized these truths in his own being and give them to the world. He is a great prophet who ushered in the new age sometime before the doctrines and the structures of the age of dualism began to give way and break down. Ramakrishna himself is a symbol of such richness and depth that he has to be realized, to be understood. No man can bring him to us. Only he himself can make us know him. Arnold Toynbee, in his 12-volume study of history, says a group of people, creative minority, associates, associated with the spiritual teacher, such as a prophet or incarnation of God, alone succeeds in inaugurating a new epoch in the cultural history of humanity. All the religions of the world believe in world teachers. Swami Vivekananda expressed 40 years back of Arnold Toynbee, the same name. According to him, the prophet comes riding the universal thought waves. Hinduism and Christianity only believe in incarnation of God, and others in prophets or world teachers. The universal thought wave, the epochal ideas, the zeitgeist originate from the incarnation of God, or prophets, or by the world teachers, by whatever names they are called. He originates, energizes, sustains, and spread the universal spiritual ideas. The wave is backed by the greatest purity and noblest character and breaks off on the world as a movement of social reform. Incarnation of God produce universal ideas, applying them in his life through spiritual discipline or sadhana, imparts tremendous power to those ideas and gives them to the world as his message, like an extremely large hydroelectric dam produces tremendous energy in the form of electricity. Like high tension power, lines which carry electricity from the power plant to every part of country. The disciples of the avatar or the world teacher serve as the carrier of the message or as the main channels for the flow of his power to the common people. Swamiji has stated that universal, epochal thought, the thought waves occur approximately every 500 years. This means a world teacher, a prophet, or incarnation appears on the world scene once in 5 centuries or so. The history of world religions shows that this is largely true. According to Swamiji, Sri Ramakrishna is the latest of these generators of universal thought waves. Swamiji said, once again in our day, there is a vibration of the waves of thought, and the central idea is that of the immanent God. And this is everywhere, cropping up in every form and every sect. Now, what are the lessons we can have from Sri Ramakrishna or the import of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings? Number one, religion is realization. It is the relation between God and soul. It cannot live in sects or societies. It does not constitute erecting temples or building churches or attending public worship. It cannot be found in books or lectures or organizations. Number two, religions of the world are not contradictory or antagonistic. There are but various phases of one eternal religion. These are only the expressions of one eternal religion in various ways in various countries. We must respect them all and we must accept them all. Religion manifesting not only according to race or geographical powers, but also individual powers. It may manifest itself in somebody as intense work, in somebody as devotion, in somebody as mysticism, and in others as philosophy and so forth. Number three, renunciation, panchana kama kanchana, tyage nainka amritattvamanasu. Sri Ramakrishna and his renunciation for God realization for his heart for truth. Sri Ramakrishna had shown unparalleled renunciation in his life that cannot be found anywhere. Swamiji says in the hymn of Sri Ramakrishna as Panchana, Banchana Kamakanchana. Sri Ramakrishna renounced his all world desires of enjoyment and showed us the way to freedom. Number four, Premarpana and Pranarpana, divine sacrifice, intense love for others. His eyes were beyond seeing any evil, his lips never uttered any curse to anybody. One part of his life was spent in search of God, after realization and practicing different methods, as were in vogue at that time, to attain the goal. He had spent the rest of his life preaching the truth. He realized day and night, days, months, and years together, 22 hours. In 24, he would talk spiritual matters. There was no sufficient rest for him, and he would be eagerly waiting for spiritual seekers to come for his guidance. People from different places would throng to him anytime. His body broke down under the tremendous pressure of physical and mental strain. His tremendous love for human beings would not let him take rest. Eventually, his body emaciated, and an incurable disease developed in his throat. Yet he could not be persuaded to refrain from the exertion. He told, I do not care. I would give up 20,000 such bodies to help one man. It is glorious to help even one man. You are a great yogi, asked somebody. Why do you not put your mind a little on your body and cure disease? At first, he did not answer, but when the question has been repeated, he gently said, my friend, I thought you were a sage, but you talk like other men in the world. This mind has been given to the Lord. Do you mean to say that I should take it back and put it upon this body, which is but a mere cage of the soul? Paying no heed to his body, he would continue to work and talk. Message of his disease spread, and people in greater number came in round to him. One day he told us that he would leave his body, repeating the most sacred word of Veda. He left his body. His love extended for all without discriminating caste, creed, and religion. Swami Vivekananda described Sri Ramakrishna as Pranarpana, one who gave his life for others. Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sarada, and Swami Vivekananda have shown throughout their lives tremendous spirit of sacrifice. The attitude of worshipping living God, worship of God in human being, Shiva Jnana Jiva Seva, elevates both doer and beneficiary. It is the basis of Swami Vivekananda's gospel of social service. Number five, unity in diversity. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, as many faiths, so many paths. Jato mat, tato path. In Upanishad texts and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we have many slokas or verses expressing the unity in diversity in the scheme of this universe. Different god or goddesses are the manifestation of the supreme pure existence, knowledge, and bliss, ultimate reality, supreme Brahman. We get from Rig Veda, Indram Mitram Varnam Agnim Ahur Atho Divyasah Suparna Bharutman Ekam Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti Agnim Yamam Matariswanam Ahu. They call him Indra, king of heavens, Mitra, the sun god, Varuna, the regent of ocean, Agni, the fire god, and he is the beautiful winged heavenly Garuda. The truth is one, but the wise describe in various ways. They call him Agni, god of fire, Vyama, god of death, Matarishwan, wind god. Sri Krishna gives the same message in Gita to Arjuna in chapter 13, verse 17. The supreme reality is one without a second. It is the creator of the entire universe, the 14 worlds, and also transcends it. This absolute reality, God is above existence and non existence, above cause and effect. It is above space, time, and causation. God is beyond one or two. Nobody is able to express the real nature. তিনি এক দুইয়ের পা কেউ তার ইতি করতে পারেন না সবকিছু উচ্ছিষ্ট হয়ে গেছে ব্রহ্মকে কেউ উচ্ছিষ্ট করতে পারে না শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ told in Bengal. All could be expressed by words after realizations, but absolute Brahman could not be expressed by words by anybody. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhutavartri cha tajneyam grashishnu prabhavishnu cha. He is indivisible, yet he appears to be divided amongst living beings. Know the supreme entity to be the sustainer, annihilator, and creator of all beings. Swami Vivekananda says in one of his lectures, there is no need of any quarrel, ready to be any help of humanity. Proclaim and make clear the fundamental unity underlying all religions was the mission of my master. Other teachers have thought of special religions which bear the names. But this great teacher of 19th century made no claim for himself. He left every religion undisturbed because he realized that every religion is the part and parcel of one eternal religion. I had to practice each religion for time. Hinduism, Islam, Christianity. Furthermore, I followed the paths of the Shaktas, Vaishnavas, and Vedantists. I realized that there is only one God toward whom all are traveling, but the paths are different. Sri Ramakrishna in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we have some important and very vital utterings of Sri Ramakrishna. And the first one about the avatar. Avatar can be described as an unknown tree or chinegaj. A very few souls could recognize avatar. Only out of grace of the Supreme Lord he can be recognized. It is said that only 12 sages could recognize Ramachandra as avatar. Others thought he was the son of Dasarath. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that avatar is like Achinegaj, a tree which is not recognized under which class or genre it falls. A famous story uh, repeated many times by Sri Ramakrishna, the story of four friends. To tell about Avatar, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell one story of four friends. Four friends traveling a new place saw a wall. To see what is there behind the wall, one of them climbed the wall and after watching the opposite side making a huge sound of joy, jumped and never returned. In the same manner, other two also jumped over there, making a sound of joy, and didn't return. The last one climbed on the top of the wall and saw the mart of joy beyond the wall and thought to share the joy to all of the people he knows here and come back. In Taittiriya Upanishads, Bhrigu to attain this joy of Brahman, or supreme bliss, is described very beautifully. After reaching that plane of supreme bliss, one cannot express it by words. Ha, hu, ha is the sound given there. But Avatara, after getting the divine knowledge, the knowledge of absolute truth, absolute knowledge and bliss, comes back to this world. This world plane of time, space, and causations. In this conditioned, ephemeral world, for the upliftment of and salvation of men entangled in the trap of Maya, and others cannot do that. So, to see Avatar is to see the God. We have discussed this point earlier. No, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell regarding Avatar, Tar iti kora jai na. Absolute, unmanifested, unconditioned reality cannot be expressed by finite conditioned breath through words. Sri Ramakrishna realized that God with forms, God without form, with attribute, without attribute, transcendental and immanent, everything is possible. Again, God can be far beyond that cannot be described by limited conditioned sense perceptions. Sri Ramakrishna used to uh, tell us a story of Bengali householders regarding the preparations of curry and preparations of fish. Jar pete ja soy. Regarding religions of the world, all the religions are created to suit the constitution, nature, and temperament of different people. They are all necessary for different persons with different body mind complexes and different levels of intellect and mood. Sri Ramakrishna harmonizes all the religions from his realism and experiences. He says, Divine Mother knows her sons. She prepares all different kinds of foods and recipes for different child whose stomach suits for what type of food. Now, the famous story of the vision of elephant, description of an elephant by blind people, blindfolded, four men who have never seen an elephant are taken to an elephant. They're told that to describe the object they are touching. After touching the leg, trunk, ear, and belly of the elephant, they described the elephant as pillar, club, big fan, and big jar. They started quarreling with each other to prove that each of them is perfectly correct and the others are wrong. Sense perceptions is limited. Knowledge gained by sense perceptions and cognizance with limited mind and brain power. One cannot fathom the power and nature of superconscious Godhead. As a man with body mind complex, one cannot conceive the nature of God in his absolute form. All the religions of the world are claiming their religions as the ultimate truth, and others are wrong. But this is partly true. The real nature of existence is combinations of all and beyond that. Same in the case of an avatar, and his nature not possible to be known by common people. The avatar is also known as liberator, Gopala Mochana, one who can alter the doom of people is the Lord. No sadhu, however advanced, can claim this unique position. Avatars are Gopala Mochana, that is, they can alter the doom of people, says Swami Vivekananda. When asked about the avatar or about the God assuming a human form, now in Hindu philosophy, it is believed that from ignorance desires calm, and from desires Purusha gets involved in different types of activities or work, karma. Work effects are three types: the gross physical effect, and there is subtle cosmic effect stored in buddhi, vyasavasa, named as sanchita karma or karmasaya. The third, subtle impression stored when karma is done. It is called samskara. When sanchit karma or karmasaya, according to Patanjali, Yoga Darshana, is fructified or activate. It determines person's birth, death, circumstances, and work experiences. Popular belief is that written on the forehead or Gopal. So God is Gopala Mochana or breaker of bondage. Sri Krishna also assured that give up all obligation and take refuge in me. I will free you from all your sins and consequences thereof. Don't grieve. God, by his supreme power, can only cut asunder the bondage to the wheel of samsara, which is the result of different kinds of ignorances. Giving him the knowledge of Brahman or supreme knowledge, he breaks the tie of samsara. In evening vesper song, Swamiji prays to Sri Ramakrishna, starting with these words: Khandana Bhavavandhana, O breaker of bondage, Vanditomai, we greet thee. By the knowledge of spiritual wisdom, light light, enlighten our third cave of heart. You are the light of light. Jyotira Jyoti Ujala Hriday Kandara. Tumitama Bhanjanaha. Sri Ramakrishna is the door to infinity, channel or passage to the source of infinite knowledge and bliss. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture, says Lord Jesus in New Testament, John. Sri Ramakrishna also indicated to Sri Mahendranath Gupta, chronicler of Sri Ramakrishna's life, that Avatar is like the whole of a well by which the infinite vast place can be seen. The whole Ramakrishna movement is sustained and held together by the spiritual power produced by the worship and adoration of Sri Ramakrishna, based on the faith that Sri Ramakrishna, by his intense spiritual practice and experiences, opened up a new doorways to the salvation or liberation, and anybody who is sincere and faithful can attain the liberation by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. The hole on the wall. Avatar is like the hole on the wall. His ego or I consciousness is like the hole on the wall by which he can have direct contact with both sides. The conditioned, ephemeral world perceived by sense, organs, or individual soul, and the other side, transcendental, supersensuous, unconditioned, pure existence, knowledge, and bliss. He can easily travel on both sides and make someone cross through the whole and go beyond the world of sense perceptions. The next point is in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we see Sri Ramakrishna as identification with the Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna in Bhavamukha by Swami Saradananji Maharaj, written in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. The Universal Mother, the embodiment of infinite power, on her part became pleased with the Master, and although she kept him encased in a body, she always kept his mind keyed at such a pitch, a state of oneness, that all ideas rising in the infinite universal mind were always felt that the mother was the son and the son was the mother. Both were consciousness. The abode is consciousness, the name is consciousness, and the Lord is consciousness. Sri Ramakrishna developed in himself two attitudes towards himself and towards the people of this world. He used to see all women as his mother. It is called Matri Bhava towards others. Apart from this, he himself felt himself as the mother of whoever came to him. It is also Matri Bhava, but more commonly known as Vatsalya Bhava. Karl Marx considered mother as the unit of society, not family. He tried to actualize or implement this model, but in fact, he failed due to the fact that he could not realize that mother has human limitation. Mother has human limitations and boundaries. She focuses and thinks only on her child, not others. When human mother becomes universal mother, only then she could love all impartially and unconditionally. Swami Vivekananda used to tell that Sri Ramakrishna awakened the divine mother power, the power of Brahman or Brahma, Kundalini Shakti, is awakened by the divine yoga and divine tapasa of Sri Ramakrishna. From now, women will play a vital role in shaping the future civilization. The work of Avatar is not ordinary work, as done by common run of men. We have to look and try to understand the divine yoga, divine tapasa, and divine lila as described in different scriptures. We know the real import of the work of Avatar. Now, today, up to this, we have discussed so many points regarding Avatar from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the divine play of Sri Ramakrishna, and from the book of Swami Bhajananji, revered Bhajananji Maharaj. In the next part, we'll discuss and finish the speech on significance of Sri Ramakrishna's Avatarhood.